Next up, at UFC Vegas 63, we have Joseph Holmes taking on Jun Yong Park. Joseph Holmes, 8-2 overall, 4-1 in his last 5, and he's coming off the great win over Alan Amadovsky. Jun Yong Park is 14-5 overall, 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that controversial win over Eric Anders. This is another tricky fight. There's so many fights on this card. I'm like, these odds are crazy. These odds are crazy.
I do think.
Okay, we heard you the first time. Let's go through the motions.
Well, I just want to make sure. Well, I thought this was This was like now it's like the old podcast. You said you didn't want to do that.
I'm cutting to the chase much faster. I didn't read any notes. What are you talking about?
All right, let's look at the camera the whole time. Let's see how this goes.
Joseph Holmes is a massive 6'4" with an 80-inch reach, but he tends to stand upright and doesn't use his reach as well as he should. No, he's a huge dude. He proved in his last fight how dangerous he can be. His problem is he can be a little low volume. And when he does engage, he sticks and moves, and then he just tries to tangle you up and drag you to the ground. Jun Yong Park will work in wrestling pretty often. He's not dangerous anywhere. He's not dangerous. He's not live for a submission. He's not live for a knockout. But he is busy. He's a higher volume guy. He will work in a bunch of takedowns. He beat people like Tefon Chukwi, who's a dangerous striker. Marc-Andre Barrel, who's a pretty well-rounded guy. And I think that's why he's a favorite here. I think 2-1's a bit much. I do think Park wins this fight, and I think it's because he'll come forward, he'll throw some volume, he'll work in some takedowns, where Joseph Holmes is going to be waiting. He's going to be gun-shy, playing that weight game, not letting his hands go. On the ground, he doesn't look to stand up. He uses his long arms and legs to try to work submissions. You're not going to catch Park in one of those. So I think Park's going to win this fight. 2-1 odds are a little wide. A lot of these fights feel that very same way, but I do like Park here. What do you think?
This chapstick, by the way. Somebody asked me what Juul is. Like I'm sitting here vaping a Juul. Yeah, like I said, I think both these guys suck. I think minus whatever it is for Park, he should definitely be the favorite because he is probably the less sucky fighter. But it should be like minus 150. I mean, anything over minus 200 for Park against whoever it is crazy because he's just not a dangerous fighter. He just kind of like methodically goes about his business. He'll defend takedowns, and he does enough to win fights. And I think he can do enough to win this fight, which is why he's going to be my pick. I'm not laying that type of money on Park. I'm not putting him in parlays. What I did do is put decisional action money on Holmes. We mentioned the inside the distance decisional action. I think this is a perfect spot for Holmes for inside the distance decisional action because Park is not a super dangerous guy, could just outpoint Holmes just like Jamie Pickett did. I mean, anytime you lose a decision to Jamie Pickett, that's not a good look. And I know that he won his last fight versus Allen, but Allen is a guy. Well, Allen was coming off a 3-year layoff, and it looked like he didn't even want to be there. We just saw Allen in his last fight again. Looked like he didn't want to be there. I think he was just there collecting checks. He didn't even have hooks in on a rear naked, and Allen was just like, oh, what do I do now? And like, oh, can I go home now? Like it would. So that was a win, and he did what he needed to do, but that was not against a real UFC type opponent. This is a real opponent. But he should be the more dangerous guy. I mean, he literally should be the more dangerous guy. If it gets to the ground, that's where he succeeds and can maybe find something weird. So I'm not going to put my money anywhere except for Holmes being the more dangerous guy inside the distance decisional action. I fully expect to just get my money back. I fully expect to Park to win a boring decision versus a not very good fighter in Holmes. But if he gets to the ground and he finds that weird submission, I get paid on it. I can't remember what the odds were on that, but yeah, I think this is a coin toss fight, but Park should have the experience and be able to point his way to a decision win.
I think Holmes is a lot better than you're giving him credit for. He's super long, and he uses his length really well on the ground. He just doesn't use it that well on his feet.
A decision to Jamie Pickett,
who's also stupid long. Jamie Pickett's also like 6'5" or something.
Absolutely sucks.
All right, well, you're the one saying it, and I'm the one who takes these videos and tweets them to the fighters because we don't hide behind the screen.
What are they going to do, beat me up? They're professional fighters. I'd hope they can. Although I don't know if some of these guys can.
I bet.
I'm not tapping. I'll tell you that. Good luck. I go out on my shield.
I definitely, just like, if this was a sitcom, it would just click to you like bubble snot.
I got those Paul Felder. I got these Paul Felder ones right there. Yeah.
People watch this and they're legitimately convinced that you could do something. And that's just that's the worst part about all this to me. That's literally.
Those are fast. I bet they didn't even see my elbows moving.
Probably not. $6,900 to $9,300. Jun Yong Park's not worth 93, and I know that was the consensus as soon as this pricing dropped. He could potentially score pretty well if he just has a ton of takedowns and control time, but without the real possibility for a stoppage, $9,300 is a lot of money. But frankly, he could score 90 some odd points just with 4 takedowns and a bunch of control time, but I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, people are mentioning the chest hair and the mustache. That's a double whammy for Holmes. We talked about it in the live streams. Actually, Bilal had chest hair, and I mean, it was an early stoppage, but I think he won that fight. I can't remember what.
But he also had back hair. I thought you said
he didn't.
Only chest hair.
No, he didn't.
He didn't have back hair?
We saw that live. Oh. No back hair. Very, very surprising. I think he waxes it. It looks smooth. You wax yours?
I'm pretty hairless naturally for a
I'd like to see
Guido.
you prove it. I'd like to see you prove it. Well, let's see the back. Oh!
See?
Look at the tattoos. Look at this guy. We're looking for
pretty
back hair,
hairless.
though.
There's definitely no hair on my back. Anyway, Monkey Knife Fight Strike Line 48 to 85. That's a wide strike line. That's got to be because of the takedowns. I think it's a more or less. Potentially more because it's going to be a full 15 minutes. What do you think?
I honestly think that this is Joseph Holmes just hanging on Park against the cage, because Park will do that. I mean, if you push him against the cage, he will stay against the cage. I could see Holmes just kind of looking for takedowns, but can't ever get the takedowns, and it's a boring fight. So I don't like the 85. I think it's definitely a less, and the 48, it could be a less too. I don't know, man.
You know what I just noticed about his tattoo right here? It's supposed to say, "I can do all things through Christ." There's no space between can and do. There's no space between can and do. It says, "I can do." CANDO, one word. And you can see, it looks like he's trying to get
I think it's condo. I condo all things through Christ.
And my realtor.
He must be a realtor, yeah.
Anyway.
Those realtors, man, slime balls, huh?
That bunch of weasels. What a
that was my favorite part when I was watching The Watcher. I was like, I know why he loves this movie. I have a bone to pick with realtors, which is why I Angelo, show your henna chest tattoo one more time.
That's going to wash off in 3 days. Anyway, we're pretty much aligned here on the pick. DraftKings, I'm not going to touch either side. Monkey Knife Fight's probably a more because this is most likely a 3-round decision. The over on rounds is a very expensive price point. Guys, I would give Monkey Knife Fight a shot on this. Go to weonpicks.com/MKF. If you sign up, they will instantly match your deposit. You give them 100, they'll give you 100. Give them 50, they'll give you 50. Sign up, make the deposit, let them match it. Play some of these lines. And if you win, great. It's their money. You get even more. If you lose, it's their money. You didn't lose any of your own.